Hi, this is Jonathan Tiersten from the Perfect House and Sleepaway Camp, and you are listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic Con 2014 and beyond. I am Ryan, and today on Real Nerds Podcast, we have a first.
Ooh.
It is somebody's birthday, and they are actually on the show today.
Who is that?
Mr. Zach Eastman, welcome. Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, Zach.
Could you think of a better way of spending your birthday than with the Real Nerds Podcast?
Well, yeah, there was supposed to be some Russian hooker on my dick right now, but
Whoa.
since
That would be way better.
Since she wasn't able to make it, Svetlana, I'm sorry that you were tied up this evening. But it's nice to be with the Real Nerds for
And we're excited
my
to
birthday,
have you.
for my, I think it's like my 6th or 7th appearance on this show. And every time that I come back here, the more that I realize I'm getting closer to taking Ryan's throne.
You'll never take my throne.
He's been
You
on
have to-
significantly more shows than you, so
And
good
you have
luck.
to have a pretty big dick to be on this show. I don't know.
I
I'm
really
glad-
don't want you to go into Carson mode and go, how big is it?
I'm glad that we were second fiddle to something that was probably going to give you a horrible, life-killing disease.
Yeah. Fair enough. No,
So-
you guys won that one.
We would sing happy birthday to you, but it is a licensed song, and we don't want to pay for it, so fuck you.
What day is today? It's Nibbler's birthday.
One of my favorite commentary tracks is Chasing Amy with Kevin Smith and
Yeah.
Ben Affleck. And they get in this long little tangent about how Ben Affleck sang, "It's your birthday." And Kevin Smith said, "Yeah, that cost me so much money on this movie. I didn't have any money." And Ben Affleck's like, "Yeah, it's fucking gold, though."
Yeah.
When Ben Affleck was, able to talk how he normally talks, is great.
That's like a differing opinion. They actually, that was the problem on Superbad, too. Did you know that?
No.
Because Bill Hader and I don't know if it was Rogan and Hader, but I know at least Hader was one of the culprits, was that they were mimicking along to Panama. And Panama is a very expensive song in the film community. Van Halen rarely lets their songs go without a pretty penny.
Huh.
So like they were wondering whether or not they were going to be able to get that song.
I'm glad they did, because it ended up
Oh,
being
yeah,
like, that explains why they made like it was in the trailer and shit like that. because-
Exactly. Panama is the perfect song for a high school movie. You do realize that. Like you could
good.
drive in a car fast with your friends and go, "This is the best summer ever," and that song just complements it perfectly.
Yeah. That's cool.
I'm Ryan. I think I said that, and I'm the only one who matters. Just kidding. Brad, you doing okay over there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm just wondering why James is still fiddling with the soundboard.
Because I want to make sure that it's right. Because part of it is that hearing me in my own ears is finding that, like last week I was a little too loud because I wanted to hear myself in my ears, and then that ended up being a bad thing. And part of it is that it's Zach, and Zach moves the mic around a lot more than the rest of us do.
Wow, that's
So I just
really
had
a
to find-
fascinating conversation. Yeah, shut the fuck
hey,
up.
Hey, Brian, if
That's
he's
his
gonna call me
problem.
out on the
Yeah,
board.
you know what? I don't like you criticizing my mic moves.
Hey, it was Brad's fault. This is Brad's fault.
But Brad,
Anyway.
you look really handsome. Looks like you got a haircut. You have that nice 5 o'clock shadow.
I do like your chin.
First of all, I got a haircut like a month ago.
Did you really? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have to shave for the pod show anymore, so
So you just started looking ruggedly handsome again.
yeah.
James got a haircut,
I
Yeah.
did. Oh, this one was
James
bad.
definitely,
It took
yeah,
me
noticeably
too fucking
different.
long to get this
and
one.
he's actually matching, which is good. James is colorblind for you listeners out there.
Yeah, brown pants, brown shirt,
It's not really.
brown shoes.
You do
There's some
have
orange in there.
Yeah, there's some orange.
There's
in-
some orange in here. Where?
There is. There's some orange in there, James.
I'm just kidding.
If you're wondering, okay, I'm tired of listening to these assholes talk about themselves. Every week we go see a new movie,
It's a
and
podcast
we
about what clothes we're wearing.
we pop-
You can't see our clothes, but they're gorgeous.
Sorry.
They're adorable.
Sorry, go ahead.
Talk about more things the audience can't see.
Yeah. James is sporting a Ralph Lauren polo.
Oh God, no.
Fall collection.
James is sporting some shit he got on the Kohl's website.
I knew your voice sounded familiar. You're the guy who's been hosting all those fashion shows all those years.
That's right. and the Winter Olympics. I really focus on the figure skating. And next up is going to be the double axel. Oh, she nailed it. She got it, and she's loving it. Have you ever listened to it? Even the guys who announce sound super gay.
Did you watch a lot of the Olympics
No.
this year?
I was
really uninterested.
I watched hockey. I love hockey, but
Yeah.
What did you think of U.S. and Canada? Just overall?
Mm.
Yeah, it was like kind of like whatever. It's
Yeah.
still North America.
yeah. I mean, I'd rather see America win, but hey, I like the hockey
Or
part.
did we lose?
Yeah.
That's how uninterested I was.
It's certainly not how Kurt Russell wanted it to end, but whatever.
Yeah.
Miracle jokes are fun.
Anyway, what are we doing here, Ryan? I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I already said, and you just like, I'm going to talk because I'm more important. My name's James.
Whatever.
We see a new movie. This week we went and saw Liam Neeson on a
Plane.
plane of non-stop Irish
Thrills.
thrills. Stay tuned for our review of Non-Stop at the end of the show, and then we'll tell you if you should see it or not. We also talk about movies we should see, comics you should be reading, which James probably has one for us this week. If he doesn't, I always have one. Come on.
We'll see. When we get there, we'll see.
I got a comic for you guys.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
good.
So-
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
there you
Way
go.
to save
The
us,
birthday boy.
Yeah.
We also talk about movies we've watched over the week, things that are coming out, box office numbers. But
And,
first, I'm going to do a little self-congratulatory. We were at Open Screen Night this Tuesday, and this episode, Brad was worried about. Brad was terrified if it was going to turn out well, and we got second place.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't heard that yet. I unfortunately couldn't make it, so.
I tweet it and post it. He doesn't even pay attention to us.
Dude, nope, I
Yeah,
don't.
he doesn't.
I'm not paying any fucking attention to anything.
I know. You know, James, I have a real job, too, and I work 60 hours a week, and I still am able to pay attention to real nerd stuff.
Yep.
Priorities, man.
Yep.
And I still made out in a snowstorm. Like, I'm not going to let Brad be the only one there.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm going to show up and self-high-five me and Brad. And you know what? We're going to support. But we lost to the Laugh You Bastards, which was really disappointing because
What?
Brad was in the Laugh You Bastards thing.
You backstabbing son of a bitch!
Hey man, I've been in an episode with him, so I can just say I'm in the neutral party here.
Yeah.
But why would you be a backstabbing asshole?
I don't know. I helped out a bunch of friends.
No.
Finish their final episode.
You went and took your talents to somebody else, and then your talents single-handedly won them first place. Clearly,
They did because
over us.
Actually, Brad had my favorite delivery of the whole night.
Oh, really?
Of the whole night. They have this get up where Brad is going to the doctor and he needs to get a flu shot. And the doctor says he's going to cut off his arm. Haha, funny stuff. And they bring in these interrupters, but they're supposed to be interpreters. Whatever, stupid. But Brad's really great in it. And at the end, he gets thrown out, and the security guard's like, "Get out of here!" And Brad says, I bet your wife's a bitch." And
I didn't ad lib that. That's their script.
Yeah. Well, I know you can't ad lib, so
My favorite line is you can't hear it, but like when I'm like getting carted away and I'm trying to explain like why I don't have insurance, I slip in like I wasn't able to register, but no one can really hear it.
Whatever.
oh,
Man.
topical.
Whatever, man. I'm just gonna say I think I find it very, very interesting that the movie Son of God came out today, and Brad is now like becoming a Judas to this entire podcast.
It is. It's shocking.
Yeah, I saw a sneak
You know,
preview
he
of that.
sold.
And I
He
decided
sold.
to take.
You know what? You know what? A couple days later, Ryan's gonna come out of a little enclave after rolling a boulder across the wall, and he's gonna escape, and he's gonna tell you, "You're dead."
Maybe. We'll
He's
see.
not. He's not a merciful Lord. He's just like, "Fuck you."
So, what skit were you in, Zach?
I wasn't at any.
Yeah.
Oh,
This from the guy's like, I'll be open screen night in in January. I'll be open at screen night in
missed
February.
our hosting. Missed our
actually-
final episode.
I actually have a reason why we weren't able to make it for January or February, which I will explain near the end of the show. So there you
It
go.
better be fucking good.
It will be good. I
better
guarantee
be.
it. You guys are gonna love it, and I guarantee your audience will love it.
All
But
right, cool.
Anyway,
But yeah, we did the season finale of the pod show, and what I was saying is we were really concerned because it was so disjointed because we filmed it almost over a whole year.
Yeah.
And so Brad was really concerned about it lining up, and I have to say hats off to Brad. You can't even tell a difference. And no one even noticed. I was showing it to people like, oh, it's so funny. And I said, hey, that was filmed over a year. They didn't even know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it looks really, really cool. And all the transitions and the titles and stuff. It's
distracts
badass.
from the fact that they're completely different.
Oh yeah,
Well-
and like it paced in little things like the fact that you can't hardly hear what Joe Kelly is actually saying, and just the way that transition works, it fixes it. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Was it James and I were talking earlier? But I gotta say, like, I was very, very, I was very impressed by the last episode of the finale, and I'd already talked like a couple episodes ago about what I thought about the season thus far. I thought you capped off a very nice season full of a very, really cool experiment for, like this film community, and really kind of going full out everything but the kitchen sink kind of vibe. And I totally dug the finale, and watching Zach Howard and George Azante's act for all intents and purposes, because it's like, because I'll be honest, you guys are better actors than those guys, but
I don't know.
I love George Azante as an artist. But
Zach Howard's really good at scaring the shit
Yeah.
out of me. I'll be honest.
James wasn't there, but James got a compliment on his acting.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
They dug your Pollyanna routine. Wasn't Jack's fault. But yeah,
Well,
it
thank
was-
you, Zach.
Yeah,
There
no,
was
absolutely.
there was one problem though, is the big finale of me getting hit by the car was like this big moment, and then one video later, some really talented parkour people decided to do the exact same gag and pull it off with a broken windshield.
No way. What the fuck?
I audibly sat in my chair and I said, "What the hell?" out loud. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But kudos to
when
them.
Brad's dreams died.
Yes, it was like my big moment. Like we
I'm
did a stunt
sorry.
and everything, and then
But-
someone's still better than us.
What was great though is sometimes when you've seen it, because I watch it like a few times, you don't know what jokes are going to land and which ones aren't, and it was funny hearing people say how much of a jerk I am on the in the episode,
Yeah.
and that people laughed at Taylor really loud, and that was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that joke would really land.
She's fantastic.
But yeah, it went over really well, and that's a tribute to our videographer over there, director, graphic design artist. So good job, Brad.
Thanks.
Yep.
Caterer, grip, gaffer.
Yeah, but stay tuned. Season 2, our season finale ends on a cliffhanger. So
Yeah.
we'll have
And
to
it's
see where it
good.
goes.
And it's good. So if you haven't seen it, please check it out.
Yeah, and if you're like, oh man, I don't like watching things on YouTube, there will be a Blu-ray release of
Blu-ray DVD combo.
Real Nerds Pod Show Season 1 with tons of extras, including commentaries, outtakes, extended scenes. You get to see the director's cut of Episode 5.
Yes.
No, Brad cut out like one line, so it's our long-running joke that there's this.
Oh, yeah.
There's this director's cut of it.
Commentaries. And,
I can guarantee
which
you.
we have
That,
to
I can
record.
guarantee you that the only way you will get a commentary out of me is if you just ask me politely.
We might be able to make that happen.
I think they're fun. So yeah,
Yeah.
thanks to everybody. Open Screen Night. The next one's not going to be at Oriental Theater. It's going to be at the Denver Media Center.
Denver Open Media.
Open Media.
Open Media Foundation building.
Cool. So March 20-something, 25th or something
Yeah,
like that.
it hasn't been announced yet. We're still putting it together, but there's probably gonna be some lady hosts this time, and
Cool.
Oh, lady host.
yeah,
And also, too, Brad made interstitials for the Fast Five and everything. So
Yeah.
Brad's
yeah.
really done really well there.
I did
Yeah.
some animations.
So
yeah.
that one girl should be totally sucking you off.
Fuck. Oh.
Oh no, I made that up.
It's just
I'm
just
just
that
gonna-
one girl, in the world.
I'm just gonna create the soundtrack to the entire night.
Oh,
that
God,
you guys
no.
are gonna have.
Oh, God.
Sweet. Sweet.
There's a lot of Duran in that, but
It hasn't happened a lot lately, guys. But it's my favorite part of the show, fan mail. Fan mail!
Sweet.
who has the nerve to write to you guys?
Cora says. Hi, guys. I love the pod show, of course, because she's in this one. You all have done an awesome job. Your review of the Lego movie was awesome, because everything is awesome. Have you seen Her yet? If you did, I missed it. And then she has like a monster smiley face. I've never seen that kind
Wait,
of emoticon before.
I do want to
No,
ask.
no, it's because you're on an Android device now. All of your smiley faces will be little Android guys.
Oh,
now.
cool.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Is that how it works?
Yep.
The sheer complexity of the relationship is perfectly portrayed and heartbreaking. Also, is it possible that both a Lego Movie and her will be at on the top 10 of my top 10 for the year? Pure awesome. So, update: Michael and I are going to the Emerald City Comic Con at the end of the month.
Oh, wow.
So I'm hoping to. I haven't set up my phone yet. Sorry, so I don't know how long it lasts before it decides it's not going to be. on anymore. So we'll report. I was hoping to report back on the epic of epicness. We hope you will report back on
that's
the
cool.
epic of epicness.
I've never been to Emerald City.
I've been reading and studying, not movie watching, what makes for a sad day. But keep the recommendations coming. Have a great show. Always, Cora.
Yeah. I think I saw she finished her GRE today, so congratulations to her.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
that's
lie.
gonna be
Like
awesome.
I've heard Cora's comments throughout this podcast for the past I don't know, it's coming out on a year and a half now.
Yeah. Yeah, about that.
I've never ever met one of the fans of this show before, at all. Period. That's the only thing that I've never experienced out of Real Nerds.
Well, you'll have to.
So if anybody wants to come on a show with me and you're already a fan, please let me know because I just want to meet a fellow fan.
but just
We can talk behind their backs.
You were at Denver Comic Con with us, and a bunch of our fans were there.
That is true.
yeah, next
I'm really glad none of them recognize
in,
me.
in June you'll just have to hang out for a little while, and we'll introduce you to one or two of them when they come by.
Just be like, hey, it's that high pitched goofy kid.
So yeah, Cora, I did see her.
Yeah, I when it was pointed out on the pod show, I recognized it. So I was like, that was nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Dan sent us an email. He saw the movie with us tonight.
Oh, cool.
He said, "Hey, dudes, talk about how Steve Buscemi and Sean Bean die in every movie they're in."
This is why I hate life because I told this guy, please come on the show now tonight.
Oh no, he's been on almost as many times as you have now.
Yeah, I know. I wanted him to come on tonight because I'm like, I guarantee you're gonna have some thoughts on this one.
He says, off the top of my head, I can only think of one movie Steve Buscemi lives through, and that's Mr. Deeds. That movie is bad, though. Maybe he does die, and I forgot. Maybe it's all those Oreo pizzas he ate. It finally does him in. Cool, Dan. He also doesn't die in Grown Ups, Dan. So
Yeah, I feel like
Sandler lets him live.
Steve Buscemi survives.
He doesn't die in
more often
Reservoir
than-
Dogs.
I was gonna say he doesn't die in Reservoir Dogs, right?
No, he doesn't. He gets away. Tim Roth dies, and then the lime and the coconut and drink the bottle up.
But Sheen Bean dies in every movie.
He
even
does.
even
He
the
does. You know what? And it sucks because that's why I couldn't get into Game of Thrones
because you knew.
because I was like, oh, Sean Bean's
Yeah.
dead. I don't care anymore.
Even the ones where he survives, he dies right after like credits roll, and what you're not seeing
is him dying.
is like a guy just comes off stage and they kill Sheen Bean.
You know
And
what's
that's it.
Sheen Bean?
Oh, sorry, I call him Sheen Bean. I know his name's not Sheen Bean.
You know what? We all take him dying in movies for granted. When he actually dies, the whole world's gonna be fucking stunned.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god, this time he isn't
Sean
getting
Bean
up.
is going to listen to Real Nerds podcast, and he's like, "Oh, I really like these mates. I listen to the podcast." And then you say Sheen Bean, he's like, "Oh, fuck those guys.
Do you think we?
I was going to give them an exclusive interview."
Do you think we could get him to call in and then all of a sudden just die over the phone?
you gave him your Jason Statham
gonna say,
voice
yeah.
there at the end.
At the end, yeah.
give him an interview, but where I'm wearing a wire.
I need to know if you're wearing a wire.
There it is.
Thank you, everybody who wrote in. It's fun. We really appreciate it. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks. We appreciate it. Zach, what should we do next?
Let's jump into some real news.
Cool.
Okay.
It's real news.
I just want to make it clear. When people die, I don't kill them. So don't get mad at me. Like every time that we talk about deaths on the show, like
You're the one who killed
people
Sid
get mad
Caesar.
at
I
me.
fucking knew it.
No, people just,
he
people just
blew
get
over
really-
the Sid Caesar dying. You never even mentioned it.
That's true.
That's
You're
right. That's right. I listened to the last episode. No mention whatsoever.
This is true.
Brad's
Sid's-
flipping him off from the state of Sid Caesar.
Okay, hold on. I'll get it out of the way. Tinseltown Stiffs. Sid Caesar died. He brought on writers such as Neil Simon, Woody Allen, Mel Brooks, and Carl Reiner. He will
Who?
be missed.
Who the fuck is Carl Reiner? Well, I don't know.
How dare
what
you? How dare you?
As I see the Dick Van Dyke Show clearly in this interview.
It took the spot of my Ocean's 11 DVD.
I think it's fair.
Fuck you. Ocean's 11 rocks.
So
Not really, James.
Harold Ramis died this week,
Yes, Harold Ramis.
which is man.
Can you think of the one film? What's the one
Groundhog
film?
Day.
It's Groundhog Day.
It's Groundhog Day. Yeah, it's Groundhog Day.
It's Vacation for me. It's
Really?
Vacation. Oh, it's Vacation.
Interesting.
Is that one line when Chevy Chase is going, I'm going to laugh, you're going to laugh, we're going to have so many laughs, we're going to have surgery to remove our goddamn smiles.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was just the timing on it. I'm just like, only a man who's aware to let the camera fucking roll on Chevy Chase is clearly
yeah.
a genius. Let
Chevy
alone,
probably would have punched him if he didn't.
I think part of it for Groundhog Day to me is the fact that I don't know if you're aware of Stephen Tobolowsky has his own podcast where he tells all
on
these stories.
Slash Film, the Tobolowsky Files.
Yeah, and they're fantastic. And he's told some stories about that movie specifically and the way that they started filming without really an understanding of the script, and that it just sort of naturally became this thing that honestly I think is one of the most important comedies of the last 30 years or so. I just think it's brilliant. But to the degree that Ebert reviewed that movie and didn't think much of it, and then realized 20 years later how cool and awesome and smart that movie is, and went back and re-reviewed it and admitted he was wrong. I don't know. That movie is just really impressive to me, and it's one of those ones that sticks with me.
Have you seen Ebert without his chin?
God damn it!
Ooh, God, that is creepy.
The man is dead.
That's looking at
Oh,
me.
right.
Oh, boo-hoo.
So the magazine have a hard time eating that part of him.
Are you
did
going to
they?
give me crap for making fun of Joel Siegel later? Because I'm going to fucking do it.
No.
You don't walk out of movies, Joel Siegel. Ramis dying is obviously a terrible shame. Does anybody remember the movie Multiplicity?
Oh,
that
yeah.
he directed.
Oh,
I love
wow.
Michael
That's just an
Keaton.
example of.
Hi,
one of those-
Steve.
This is one of the examples of even a movie like Multiplicity, which nobody, at least younger than me, because I'm younger than you guys
Yeah.
for the most part.
It's a
People younger
forgotten
than me
movie.
will have no idea beyond Caddyshack, Vacation, or Ghostbusters for Harold Ramis at all. But Multiplicity, stuff that he's done, even Animal House, stuff like smaller stuff that nobody even realizes that he was fully involved in. This guy led a full fucking life.
Yeah.
Just huge influence on comedy, just always kept working. Even fucking Knocked Up. He had a great role in Knocked Up where he plays Seth Rogen's father. And it sucks. He was a truly wonderful giant in comedy. And it's going to suck that we don't have him around anymore. It's good that we don't have to see him suffer through Ghostbusters 3, but
Isn't it funny that there's headlines saying Ghostbusters 3 will continue as planned? Wait,
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Was it planned?
No.
it wasn't.
gonna
It
do
wouldn't
that
have worked without Bill Murray. And now that there's no Egon anymore, it's a dead property.
No, it's not. No, it's not. There's lots of money. They're gonna go get 3 funny guys and go make a Ghostbusters. I'm sorry.
I think they're going to wait out Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and just reboot it.
Yeah. Oh,
He's-
yeah.
hey,
'Cause-
you know
and
what? You know what? Shut up, because he's got to finish settling his vodka first. So
I bet in the next 2 years you see them actually start pre-production on that movie, and I bet
Yeah.
when they do it, you see somebody on that movie go, "Man, Harold Ramis really wanted us to do this." As gross as I'm not even fucking kidding. It'll be gross.
You know what? I'm not gonna
but
lie. That's actually
it's what he
honestly,
wanted.
if that were the reason, I would totally be for it.
If it were true, yeah.
Exactly.
Um,
and if Bill
I'm
were
just
to
saying.
come back to do it and be like, for fucking Harold,
True
you
or
know?
not, I
So.
fully expect that to happen.
But yeah,
So.
it was a terrible shame.
But yeah, well
Yeah.
said.
Very
Well said,
very
John.
young, but he'll be missed. Great big comedy legend.
Yeah.
No.
Beyond that, Brad, we're going to get a trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in front of Captain America. So you're actually excited
What?
about Captain America now.
I did not know this.
You weren't
I know.
excited for Captain
I know-
America
I know you
before?
knew it.
You fucking
And I
Nazi?
read that now it's still coming out in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was October, but
Yeah, I thought they were going to push it back.
It's
but-
it's weird.
No.
There's some big movies being pushed to August, Guardians, and
yeah.
this. So
Yeah. Very last thing is that Anchorman 2's Blu-ray. Well, for one, Anchorman 2 this week. I think we talked about this last week. Yeah,
Mhm.
that they're gonna re-release the other version. The Blu-ray is gonna have 3 versions of it on there. We talked about it last week. You guys were kind of we were all just sort of joking about them releasing like 3 different Blu-rays or whatever. But they're gonna put it all on one disc. And,
I know. When I found that out, I pre-ordered mine already.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Comes out the same day as Steel Panther's new CD
Right on.
with great songs like I didn't fuck your grandma at the granny house. I don't know.
She's on the rag.
She's on the rag.
Oh, goddamn.
I'm the greatest.
Before we leave the real news, can I chime in a little bit of real news
Sure.
that came in? And actually, I heard about this earlier in the week, but I wanted to. It's only been until today that I've been able to really fully grasp it. And Brad and I talked about it earlier today. But Sarah Elizabeth Jones passed away, and everybody doesn't know that
She
name.
didn't pass away.
Well, she didn't. Shut up. Let's be honest about this.
She was annihilated.
Sarah Elizabeth Jones was a second assistant camera or a second AC on a film for the Allman Brothers biopic. And she was unfortunately struck by a train in the middle of production.
Holy shit.
And unfortunately, part of the problem was that there was no permission given to be filming on the train tracks that they were filming on in the first place. And there's a whole big issue on the ethics of filmmaking as to whether or not the permission was had and whatnot, and whether the AD's at fault or anything like that. And I didn't really even think about that. What I thought about was that this woman, I saw her credits and I read all about her throughout the week, and I kept thinking about it. How awesome is it that somebody, even in death, will be remembered for bringing to life so many great things. She helped bring together productions like The Vampire Diaries and lots of different stuff for TV, and it doesn't matter if it influences any of us specifically. It could influence some small kid out in the middle of like bumfuck Idaho or anything like that. And just to think that person died for creating somebody's stupid, silly dreams, because that's, at the end of the day, filmmaking and any storytelling is just stupid, silly dreams being realized with a bunch of money. Somebody died in the process of helping make those things. And I wanted to give a shout out to her on this show specifically, especially when I found out I was coming on today, because if anybody out there works in this industry, please give a grip, a gaffer, or anybody in this industry a hug and let them know how much you feel for everything they do to help your stuff come true. And, yes, it's one death, but it's still an important situation. And if the Oscars are going to happen by the time this episode airs, but if there's any justice, she will get an honorary mention at the Oscars. And if she doesn't, it will be a terrible shame. So, yeah.
Man.
Sorry.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
a problem. I just wanted to mention that. Sorry.
No, I
we're
want, I want you to come back on every time somebody dies, because I just get yelled at, and you actually wax eloquent, and it becomes a nice little moment. So
You didn't want to hear my... I was going to talk
Really
for
is a nice
5 hours.
moment when Brad's like, really passed away? She was annihilated.
yeah.
And you
The part
had like
where-
a dick about it.
The part where Brad was a complete dick about it. Like, I thought like she was gonna get like attacked by aliens or something based on what Brad said.
No one heard the train coming?
That's what I'm confused about.
Oh, fuck!
No, that's legit.
Fuck
Like
you, fuck
seriously,
you. Everybody was giving me crap 2 weeks ago about Philip Seymour Hoffman's death. Now it's my turn to give you crap about somebody's death. That is too soon.
like
That's
I'm
horrible.
not screaming like foul play, but it is weird that like out of a crew of at least 20, like it was an indie film, so it wasn't probably like 100 people. But
Right.
it's just.
How did people miss that?
It's in a split instant. I was telling you the story. Like I mean, true story. I was on an independent film, not more than 3 months ago, where I was asked to interrupt Glendale traffic in California for about 15 minutes, just so somebody could get a shot. Sometimes people just do the craziest shit, but I don't know exactly what's going on with this particular production that this woman was involved in, because it's an Allman Brothers biopic. There's got to be money behind it. I don't know what the ramifications were legally.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I've only
some,
read scattered things. I've mostly been reading about what she had done, and it's a shame that she's dead. I think it's more like, it kind of sucks.
There's got to be some logistical thing we're missing, where it's like if you were in the place, if you saw where it happened, that you'd go like, okay, that's how that mistake happens.
yeah, it's,
I'm sure that it
curious
wasn't
about.
like a.
What, from what I've heard is that they were not given permission to be on that bridge or on that train track. So it's not.
That creates a criminal liability because
Well, it's the same issue that was had with John Landis
I think
in
she paid
the
her price.
Twilight Zone movie.
no, not for
So-
her,
yeah.
the director and
Yeah,
stuff.
so.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to bring it up. so.
Fucking cut. There's a train in my shot.
God damn it!
Oh,
God, do it again.
where'd that train come from?
Brad.
Sarah, we're saying this really earnestly and honestly. We
Yeah.
really miss you.
Yeah.
So.
No, if you can't laugh at life, you can't laugh at
Yeah,
death.
exactly.
I'm sure she appreciates
I
that.
think you mean that the other way. If you can't love it, anyway.
Yeah.
But
cool.
cool. That's news. Unless I'm missing something you guys want to talk about.
Brad, what should we do
I
next?
don't think it was real heavy this week.
There's no Batfleck news, right?
Nope. There's
Okay,
no
good, we're
Batfleck
good.
news.
The Flash got a costume. There's that.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
It looked good though. It did look good.
It looked
Real
I mean,
news only applies if
Real
James
news. I
gives a
don't
shit.
give a shit.
yeah.
Yeah. They're gonna make a.
If there's something you want to
shitty-
know, you better hope James has an interest in it,
Yeah,
or else you'll
cool.
never find out about it.
Yeah. Oh, good. They're gonna make another show like Green Arrow that some people are gonna like, and it's probably gonna be garbage.
We don't talk about Supernatural, but that's a huge show.
No, hey, we've
No,
talked.
you know why it's not a
That's
you know why
different.
it's not a big show? Because despite the fact that people talk about it, I've still never seen it.
That's totally
I
different.
don't believe it exists, Brad.
we've talked about the fact that we should watch it. I watched the first episode of Green Arrow and don't think it's very good. I've watched bits of that show and seen the production values, and I can't stand it. So
You're not watching
I'm
the
not,
entire thing. I'm just going to say that for you.
It,
You're not watching
hold
the
on.
entire thing.
That may be true, but I also don't give a shit about DC. So there's multiple layers of how.
So
why I
we'll
don't
be
give a
talking about
shit,
Batman or
but,
Superman for the rest of the year. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Only the most
I'm starting my own podcast called Batflex, so it doesn't matter.
Do you at least care about Star Wars?
A little.
Which I think they cast somebody as a villain, maybe?
Yeah. The guy from Girls might be a villain, but casting news like that
Casting
is so
news.
in flux that
But who's,
Yeah.
who,
I mean,
who's
there's
gonna,
also
who's going to be the villain? Darth Girls?
we can also sit here and like rumor about whether or not they're going to make more Matrix movies, and if they make them, cool. If not, whatever. I'm not.
I'm in a fourth film, or am I?
The first three movies were inside one Matrix, and now we're in the outer Matrix.
Well, no, we
Are
didn't. They didn't
What
ruin
if we're
that.
in an inner Matrix,
Matrix.
Brad?
If you remember the way that Revolutions ends, the
Oh,
Matrix
God,
is still
layers.
there.
If you remember the way it ends, he dies like Jesus. So does that mean he's going to come out of a digital rock?
No, they just don't have Neo in it. I mean, I would see a good new Matrix movie.
I
would.
need Keanu Reeves for my Matrix movies.
Anyway, that's news.
God, you guys fucking done yet? Jeez.
Yeah,
I was trying to. I've been trying to close it for minutes. Minutes.
I want to learn about Blu-ray releases.
Good.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
Because there's a shitload coming out.
Hunger Games: Catching Fire is the big one this week. Followed
Next.
by 12 Years. Did you already pre-order that one?
I did.
Yeah. Followed by 12 Years a Slave. Did you already pre-order that one?
I don't know if I can experience that movie again, to be honest with you.
Yep.
Tough flick.
So the
Hey, and that's not saying the movie's great,
yeah,
but
it
it's
is.
like, hey, you want to see people get
Yeah.
raped and whipped for 2 hours?
12 Years a Slave.
And-
Great
Yeah,
rewatch anytime.
It's not a comfortable party watch.
No.
It
And
definitely is not.
I think that there is a difference between it and like a Schindler's List, where Schindler's List is fucking horrible and hard to watch. But I think I'm slightly more interested in that character just in
Yeah,
general. Like
I think so.
I like that character's journey a bit more. Anyway,
Yeah.
what was basically the finale of the last season of Doctor Who, where Matt Smith left the show. That's coming out this week on Blu-ray. Here's a sore
I
spot.
cannot believe you even have that clock clicked on.
Here's a sore spot. The Blu-ray of this year's Super Bowl. So if you want to rewatch that fucking god awful.
No, that's the Seattle Seahawks
Relive the
team
magic.
movie.
Oh, is
It's
it?
not just the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay, good.
Can't believe you mentioned that on my show.
SEAL Team Seahawks, the movie.
The fifth season
Yeah,
of
I'm going to take your mom out for a nice dinner, and I'm not going to call her back.
the fifth season of the
Fire
Venture
him, Michael.
Brothers.
Fire him.
Oh, wait a second. Is that? Sorry, I got to reopen this. I think that's a Blu-ray of the Venture Brothers. I didn't even think that was on. That show had Blu-ray release.
Yeah, James doesn't care
Yeah.
about me either, Brad. They're putting Spectacular Spider-Man the cartoon on Blu-ray in a complete series. set.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I couldn't even.
This
I didn't.
fucking
I
guy.
didn't see it. I didn't see it at all.
Yeah, it
I'll
just
go back
became
to the
available.
list.
Oh no, it came. It's not. It's April 20th, or
Oh.
22nd, or something.
Oh, okay. So it's not this.
I mean,
week.
I was saying it's real news.
oh,
That
I didn't.
that movie, that cartoon show is loved and is finally put on Blu-ray as one complete set.
I like that show. I didn't see that news. I asked you if you had any news to share, and you didn't share it. So
Well, I didn't
That's
think
on
it
you.
was important. Somebody didn't die, and it didn't have to do with I don't know, something else.
anyway,
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey's great. The Grandmaster comes out this week, which is
Produced by Martin Scorsese, a good flick.
Yeah.
Highly
Oh, did you get a
recommend-
chance to see it?
Yep, highly
Cool.
recommend it. It's a very
Cool.
good martial arts flick.
Awesome. Not a very good martial arts flick is Old Boy. Comes out this week.
Remember that
It
came
was
out this
so-
year?
Old boy's not anything. Wait.
Did you see that picture with the sticker on it that says like not a good remake?
Yeah. It's like a Chinese bootleg version of the Blu-ray.
It's like a
that
useless-
has a quote on the front that is like one of the most useless remakes of something like that. And it is. It's a horrible movie. It was way far down digital bits.
Your
I had to
guy-
go pretty deep to find that it was even out this week.
Your guys' review made me come very close to not watching it, but I did. End
But
up
you
watching.
did?
Yeah.
Why? Did you? Well, did you like it?
I was curious. I'm not a big fan of old boy to begin with.
Neither
so
am I.
New old boy was whatever, but I thought Spike Lee was just being lazy.
Yeah. Oh,
Let me
totally.
say something. No matter what anyone says about anything, you should always find out for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, totally.
Always
Yeah.
do the right thing, Brad.
Well, I mean,
Ba-dum-tsh.
He will. He got game.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Hey man, you got jungle fever.
I'm the inside man. Inside.
Inside Man. Yeah.
He can't even get into it. He's
I don't know
being
any of the
broken up by some
It's because you're white.
aw.
Malcolm X.
What? People can't see. I'm black.
That's true.
Unless you watch the pod show.
Sadly.
Harry and the Hendersons is going to get a Blu-ray release this week, which I kind of like. I really-
Anniversary remastered or
it doesn't. I think it's just one of those like straight to Blu-ray. sort
whatever.
of release.
Still
you know.
Harry and the
Yeah,
Hendersons.
I mean,
on
because
Blu-ray.
at the end of the day, it's just Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to pay that movie a lot of attention, even though that's a fun movie. Like I loved it as a kid.
It's John Lithgow's in that movie. How
yeah.
can you fail?
Yeah.
The guy who played the Predator plays the Bigfoot.
Oh, that's
right.
right.
Kevin
Yeah,
Federhall.
yeah. And then Hours, which I believe is the very last Paul Walker movie. This is out this week.
Well, he has Fast 7 still coming out.
Do you think he's
To
gonna
whatever
finish,
degree he is in that movie, yes.
Do you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he's going to finish that movie on time?
No. They just announced this week that they're going back. They're starting up filming again in April, I think.
I was trying to make a really bad joke, but you made it serious.
Oh, sorry.
No,
but yeah,
no, it's totally fine. That would have been terrible anyway. I heard April. So they're gonna make it for a 2016 release.
yeah,
Okay.
2015.
2015.
Oh,
yeah.
2015.
Yeah. So I guess I should have said the last movie he completed.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just don't know like to what degree he's actually in.
Yeah,
Fast
absolutely.
7.
No, yeah. Again, terrible shame.
Oh yeah. Anyway, those are from what I saw. Minus things like the Blu-ray release of Big Fat Liar.
Nice.
Big
Or-
fan. Wait. Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes Crazy Pants?
Yeah. You remember those guys?
Yeah, I remember seeing that movie in a theater.
You did not.
Yeah, I did.
Is it good?
No.
It's got Paul Giamatti in it.
Oh, some guy, some creepy redhead in a limo stole my story. I gotta go back to Hollywood to get it. I gotta make him blue.
Oh my god.
I don't remember that movie.
Oh God, it's.
I remember it. I had to stock it at Hollywood Video. And it was a hit.
Of course it was. It had Amanda Bynes and
That-
Frankie Muniz in it back in his day.
That review needs to be on the Blu-ray cover.
I stocked it at Hollywood Video.
Hollywood
Yeah.
Video.
Remember that place? Nobody.
Yeah, he was riding high off his agent Cody Banks fame.
Yeah.
I remember that,
That movie got a
Blank Check.
sequel.
And Malcolm in the Middle, which apparently had 8 seasons.
Yeah, it's
Well,
one.
yeah,
I
because
thought it was like 4.
Well,
People really like
how
that film.
how else were we supposed to know the origin of Walter White?
Yeah.
Oh man. All right.
His origin is a dentist.
What's
Yeah.
next, James?
Next is box office stats.
This is the box office stats.
And guess what, guys?
It's a Lego movie.
Everything is still awesome for the Lego
Oh,
movie.
God,
Of course it is.
this movie.
It was
won't
funny.
Stop.
I was I was reading Box Office Mojo's forecast for this week,
Mm-hmm.
and they're talking about how Nonstop is, it's marketed really well, and they mentioned the shot of the Liam Neeson falling backwards and grabbing the gun out of midair. If that shot is so iconic that is mentioned in an article about box office forecasting, I think they're onto something.
Yeah.
The movie we saw was like 5th, I think.
Oh shoot. Sorry.
Monuments Men.
5th. Yep.
Granted in its 3rd or 4th week.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's holding really well. 3 Days to Kill was the new movie that was number 2 with like 20 million or something.
12.
AKA
12.
Pa Kent kills people.
Yeah, it goes from 31 million for Lego down to 12 and 10 for 3 days in Pompeii, respectively.
Gotta give it up to the Lego movie. It's holding strong.
Yeah.
It's great. And by comparison to, well, I guess we don't know how those other two are.
I've
but-
heard 3 Days to Kill is actually a very smart movie, despite the way it's
Really?
marketed. Yeah,
Oh, good. That kind of makes me
I'm
interested.
going.
in it.
I'm
I
going
may
to go.
check that out.
I'm seeing it on Sunday morning. So
Well, it is
I'm-
directed by McG, so that sold.
Oh,
I
that's
like-
right. Oh, that's right. I,
I
keep forgetting that.
I like McG.
I do too.
I don't hate him.
I wish he went
I
by a
don't like
different
him,
name.
but I don't hate him.
I think he's so good. I wish he changed his name to something like normal.
Like his real name, Joe.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
or
Like
Mick
Joe
Mick Regular. You know,
Yeah. His name is like McGyry or something like that. Like if he were just Jonathan McGyry.
his real name's
Be like, hey.
McGruber.
Sweet.
He makes household inventions.
Cool.
Cool.
Oh, an American Tail comes out next week, you dick.
I didn't see it.
It's like at the top. And Old Boy's at the top, too.
It wasn't when I looked at it just 2 seconds ago, so
You update your browser.
yeah, go fuck yourself. What are we doing next?
Ninja Turtles? Come on, man. Doing your job
Fine,
here.
fine. You do the fucking segment for fucking once. I'm fucking out of it.
Cool.
Good, he's
James is
gone.
gone.
God, I'm so glad
did
that
it.
I'm
I
so
did-
glad
I got
that
him on
plaid
the show.
shirt wearing motherfucker's gone.
Now we're all quiet. We're like, what else did we miss?
I'm just looking at your Blu-ray selection at this point.
It's hard to
There's a
ignore.
Die Hard collection here.
There is. This is the stuff we've been watching.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
I'm gonna pet like there's something, like there's a graphic that I'm petting, and it's like right here. That at least you aren't even paying attention to me.
Yeah,
I can say anything right now, like you're a complete tool.
I just wanted you to be like petting the cat and going, "This is the stuff we've been watching."
That's one of my favorite jokes in Wayne's World 2 is they go on a radio show with
Yeah.
Handsome Dan, and he's this ugly guy, and
He-
they're really shocked, and he's like, "Hey, Handsome Dan."
You're not even listening to what we're saying,
Uh-huh.
are you?
Yeah. Yeah. You're a sphincter with a microphone. Yep. Yeah.
I like
James,
when
what'd you
he
watch
said-
this week? You come back, James.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Not even kidding. I watched a lot of TED Talks this week, but I got through half a movie. I'll finish it tomorrow.
Not even Girls Changing Next Door?
What?
That was a slow burn joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
No,
Pervert.
I didn't even do that.
I seriously thought that was some kind of Paramount release that I hadn't read about yet.
Wait,
Girls
you
Changing
didn't
Next Door
watch
next
you
summer.
didn't watch Carrie, and you brought it back to me.
Oh, that's right. I did watch Carrie. Oh shit. Oh man. Okay, so I watched something this week.
Busted.
I totally forgot about that one. Yeah, I watched Carrie.
Yeah. What'd you think?
The new one.
It's all right. Yeah, the new one. I still don't love it.
Yeah.
You know, I think
It-
Julianne
it's-
Moore is great.
It's a beat for
the-
beat remake. It's
Yeah,
not-
yeah. The acting is all really great. It just, I don't know. I think it's,
It's
just
good,
missing.
but you don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I end up not actually like caring about Carrie at the end.
I don't think you're supposed to.
No, I
You're
think for me to love that movie, I think I have to.
Yeah, that's why. Even when I read the book as a younger kid, I always realized like I sympathize with Carrie. Carrie doesn't want to have to be put in that situation. She doesn't want to have pig's blood like poured on her. She's
Yeah.
just trying to be a normal kid. And all these little punk ass bitches are doing shit.
Punk
Yeah.
ass bitches.
No, I think that that I do need to sort of relate to and care about her.
Yeah. You
and-
need to
and I
in order
think
to be able
they-
to get the grounding as to also why you should also relate to the victims of
Well,
the
it's-
movie technically.
Yeah, one especially as like, and maybe it's just because the story has sort of been done and everybody knows it, but I never got that sense of wonder as she's like figuring out what she's got.
Well, sometimes you have
just-
to be a teenage girl for that, James.
No, not that part. I mean, like all of the little scenes where she's like discovering her powers
Yeah.
didn't even feel as impactful as like the scenes, the matching scenes in Chronicle. I mean, it doesn't do an amazing job of it, but just the sort
Chronicle
of
is kind of the
cool-
modern day version of what Carrie did initially, like
honestly.
back when they did with Spacek back in '76.
Yeah, and I love the idea. I've read Stephen King's memoirs, and just the way he talks about coming up with that story, I think it's brilliant. And from a distance, I think just the story of Carrie is fantastic. I just don't think that there's a movie yet that has really made good on how brilliant that story is. Some of it is probably the pop culture thing, where it's that story itself is so pervasive that I don't know if most young people could even come into it and get the correct reaction from that movie. Or maybe just people like me who've been around pop culture as much in my life.
Actually, that makes perfect sense. Like we've been around that pop culture sense of like the high school like cliches and stuff like that. I feel like those cliches are so outdated. Like the popular cliches. Like I was in the last bastion of that kind of thing, and even then they were still not really there.
Yeah,
like, it's not really anything anybody can relate to as a kid. So
I think it's a little bit different when you talk about girls in general, because every woman I know will admit to the fact that like women, especially at that age, are fucking shitty to each other. Like they just are. Like not all of them, but it's like just in general, like the way that they tend to treat each other in those circles can be even worse than, because I would agree with you. Like I grew up a nerd, and it was not for me as bad as it was for even for my brother who was 7 years older than me. Like we're not that far apart, but a lot of that stigma had gone away. But I think for girls it still was, and so to specifically address that issue, and the movie sort of does that, but I don't know. It just
okay,
never quite
I mean,
clicks for me.
James, whatever. You're a pretty girl. I don't care what anybody else says.
Anyway,
Right.
yeah, it's all right. I think it's worth checking out for sure.
Mhm.
Because there's some badass stuff in that movie.
Yeah.
Cool.
The whole ending is really cool.
Yeah, it is. Actually, is a really badass ending. I don't know how you thought about it, but like I liked it. Like it was just like it was good for the time. For what it's gonna be for a modern horror movie, it was a fun ending.
Yeah, I like the dude who sawed in half in the bleachers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blood and guts everywhere.
That's it.
Zach, what do you watch this week?
What did I watch this week? I went through a couple different flicks. I picked up the Dark Knight trilogy on Blu-ray. Watched that for a little bit, but it got me going back into older Batman for some reason. And one of the things that I watched this week that was very particular was Batman Forever, 95. I don't know how Joel Schumacher gets money for anything. I really don't.
He doesn't anymore.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
never understood it. Like I like A Time to Kill and I like Car Wash, but I don't really
Lost
get
Boys is good.
Yeah, Lost Boys obviously. But like I never
Phone booth.
I'll
I'll fight for Phone Booth.
I like Phone Booth. I don't love it, but I like it.
But by comparison to a lot of the shit that he did in the 90s, it's real damn good.
You know what he did? He did a movie in 2012 called 12, which I'm not joking. That's what it's called. It's about a drug. It's a weird movie, like about high school adolescence, but it's actually really decent. Like it was the last good thing that he's done. It was a very small movie, very limited release. Batman Forever is. I gotta be honest. Like I was listening to Fat Man on Batman commentary on it. They made a very good point. That was the first Batman movie, serious, quote unquote, serious Batman movie that we got where Batman was in it most of the time. Because the first two Batman movies that Burton did, Batman's really nowhere to be found in those fucking movies.
That's true.
Yeah, it's mostly those villains. I like Jim Carrey in it. I don't know what to fucking make of Tommy Lee Jones in that fucking movie.
Yeah.
That's like watching a very bad Frank Gorshin impression. That's how I equate it. I don't get why Nicole Kidman's there other than to look hot before she got ugly.
Dude, it's the car. Chicks dig the car. That's why she's in
the
it.
car. This is why Superman works alone. I call back the line. How does anybody else know Batman and Robin? What else did I watch? I continued my Halloween binge that I've been doing every time I come on here. I'm going to watch a Halloween movie. I watched Halloween Resurrection because I was talking with Bree, and I was just thinking about it. I need to watch that movie again because of how he and I were talking about it the last time. I like the moments with the handheld camera.
Yeah.
What they're doing with they have these moments where Michael's chasing them around and they all have their own little webcam sets, and it was really suspenseful for its time and period. And I think we were talking about it at one point. Like there are suspenseful shots where like heads are rolling and you see the head rolling along with the camera. But overall, like definitely the worst fucking Halloween movie I've ever seen in my life. Obviously, because there's no Donald Pleasance in there to, talk to me and reassure me that things are going to be overacted and hackneyed. But also the ending really is weird because it's like a CSI investigator like person looking underneath Michael's cloth, and then all of a sudden, and it was just so lame duck, lame sauce nonsense. I couldn't get behind it. And then the only other thing that I saw this week was Gravity in 3D.
Oh, cool.
George Clooney is really good at playing a rapestronaut. He's really
He
good
rapes?
at Look, okay, everybody loves the 3D in that movie. Everybody loves everything about that. Does anybody realize that George Clooney was the most, like, I'm going to hit on Sandra Bullock as much as I can until she has SpaceX with me person imaginable? Because I saw that. Every look in his eyes, he's just like, you know what? I'm going to put my penis in her.
I think you just like George Clooney. I think that when George Clooney looks at you through the screen, I think you just see a little glimmer in his eye.
I did see Monuments Men the other week, and he still made me want to put a glimmer in his eye. So.
I think you're bringing a little something to the movie, Zach.
No, there
just
you
gonna
go.
throw it out there.
It was a good movie though. Otherwise, besides the fact that he was a rapestronaut, really good. There was that moment when they're trying to escape from the. She's trying to escape from the Russian shuttle, I think it is. And the balloon is caught on the space shuttle, and she's just bouncing back and forth. Mm-hmm. And the 3D, it was incredible. Like I can't say it enough. Like if it's still playing in your area, go fucking watch it in 3D. Definitely worth it.
And since he'll probably win Best Picture, you probably have a good chance to see it.
Actually, that's the thing. I wanted to ask you: do you guys think that it's a possibility? It's 2 days away.
I think it's a possibility. I think that it's got a better chance than some of the stuff on that list.
It's either that or 12 Years a Slave. It's either one or the other.
No, it's
It's
American
gonna be
Hustle.
American Hustle.
It's American Hustle.
If American Hustle
I
wins, we'll all be angry.
Yeah, like
I like the movie.
It's probably American Hustle. I can see 12 Years a Slave. I think Gravity is sort of their populist choice. If they wanted to like make people happy, because like normal people really like that movie. And then I think Nebraska is my dark horse, where like I could see them being super weird and pretentious and picking that movie. In a real like out of left field kind of way. Everything else on there I don't think has a chance.
I think that they're going to pull a long shot and end up giving the Oscar to Ryan Reynolds for Green Lantern in 2011.
Honestly, that would be the most interesting thing they could do.
I would watch the show.
That's how bored. Yeah. Oh yeah, I would go find it, and like I'd buy a DVD of it so I could watch that, because that sounds more interesting than the Oscars have been in 10 years.
Ryan, we apologize for the past 3 years of shitting on you.
Yeah.
Here's your Oscar.
Here's your gold little man.
Get the fuck out of our face.
Yeah. Please, come back in the Justice League movie.
No, we don't want him there.
I want to point something out really quick, because I've been looking at Joel Schumacher's page since we talked about it.
Go ahead.
So he went from Falling Down to The Client to Batman Forever to A Time to Kill to Batman and Robin.
Yep.
He had a really weird 90s. Like, so, I mean, I really like The Client, and I like A Time to Kill, and Falling Down is pretty heavy. And then you put like these two weird slapsticky action. Oh man, that guy's weird.
He's gay.
Whatever.
How else would you explain Batman and Robin?
It doesn't. Yeah,
that's the
totally
closest.
Gay.
That's the closest thing we'll ever get to seeing gay Batman and gay Robin on a big screen.
How would you
literally?
That's not
Better
how
question.
I knew it was gay. Is because he chose a fat Batgirl.
Good. Whoa, fuck.
Oh yeah, you guys are big.
Using feminine wiles to get your charms.
Are you guys big Alicia Silverstone fans here?
I don't think she's fat.
What has she been in that I would know?
I don't think she's good. But
What was it? Clueless? That was it, right?
No, yeah, she's pretty chunky in Batman and Robin.
she's got a big suit on.
I just didn't like her delivery. Using feminine wiles to get what you want. It was like even the person who even Yvonne Craig playing Barbara Gordon in fucking Batman in '66 was better than Alicia Silverstone.
Well, not many people have played her, so it's not like a lot of competition. But
Yeah, but then again, Yvonne Craig is awesome.
oh yeah, not disputing that.
We
I'm
were
just
having
saying.
this conversation earlier.
Oh shit! He also directed two episodes of House of Cards. That's interesting.
Yeah, he did. I was
I didn't
a little
realize that.
surprised by that. He did, and his episodes are good.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
He's not always bad. Sometimes he totally drops the ball and everything is horrible.
No, again, go watch The Client or Time to Kill
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Car Wash. He wrote Car Wash. Car Wash is
Really?
a funny movie.
I do
Um,
believe he said I'd never read any of the Batman comics, so there's
that might explain some. Yeah.
But you did watch the show, and that
But
explains it.
and I would also argue that like as good as of a chance as they had of making a good Phantom of the Opera, all the elements are in that movie to make that movie great,
I like
and he
that
just
movie.
drops the ball left and right in that movie.
Man.
I mean, it's fine for me. Like as a fan, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is pretty serviceable. But like, I think there are plenty of fucking Mick G could direct Masquerade better than he does in that movie. But anyway,
You know, he also did Phantom of the Opera too, Schumacher.
that's what I mean.
So you're saying McG could do Phantom of the Opera?
I'm saying Mick
I
G
would
could
love
have
to
done
see-
Phantom of the Opera better than he did.
I would love to see McG's Phantom of the Opera with
Yeah.
just a bunch of like big machine guns.
It would start with a really long single shot of the Charlie's Angels jumping out of a plane.
And why not?
Why not? Because it's fucking dope.
Yep, why not?
Yeah.
Ryan,
Right.
what have you watched?
Oh, what haven't I watched this week, guys? Actually, I guess I watched Harry Potter 3. It's still one of my favorite Harry Potters.
How much did you? I think last week you said how much more stuff there is in the extended version.
mhm.
Is it like 40
Uh,
minutes?
No, this one's not that much.
Oh, okay.
It does have a little more character beats again. I forgot to mention that Kenneth Branagh is in the second Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Professor
Well,
Gilderoy
isn't he
Lockhart.
He's in a couple of them, isn't he?
No,
No, he's only
in,
a Gilderoy Lockhart
yeah.
in the second one. Yeah,
That's the guy that like leads them into that cave with the giant snake that they call a Gorgon.
he's a poser wizard.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a fake wizard. I also watched Scream Factory. I've said a lot about them. I got a couple more of their movies. I got Phantasm 2, which is a really weird movie. It's about these people when they die. There's a guy called the Tall Man who robs their graves. and-
Oh, with Jessica Biel.
No, I'm sorry. It's
No?
a different Tall Man movie.
Oh, okay.
The Tall Man's a villain, and he's always in it
Can't
going,
believe I remember that.
boy. And it's a really weird movie. And what's cool about Scream Factory is they always have makings of and interviews with all the people in them. And the director, he directed Bubba Hotep and things like that.
Yeah, love Bubba Hotep.
Yeah, he's kind of interesting because he said, "Yeah, I made these movies and I didn't want them to make any sense at all." So that's why when you watch it and you go, "What the fuck am I reading?" It's like what he's saying in the interviews.
That's
And he made 4 of them. So
that's adorable.
Wow.
That's the coolest thing I've ever heard a director say.
yeah, it's like,
I don't care.
That explains John dies at the end.
yeah, because he said he just makes movies because he wants people to ask questions about him. People might interpret the movies different ways.
Huh.
And so, yeah, the movie's cool. It has some pretty cool effects in it. If you've ever seen the Phantasm suit, they have the big selling point is they have these orbs that are shiny metal orbs that stick to people's heads and drill into their heads, and blood goes everywhere. And they're really weird movies. You'd have to watch. I can't even explain them. You have to watch them.
Right.
Are all 4 of them on
No,
Scream
only
Factory?
2.
Just 2.
Because 2 is the best one.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It's even a lot of people like the first one. I think 2's better shot, has more money and stuff.
Hmm.
They also released a double feature, and they do these with these really hard to find obscure horror movies. And one's called Terror Vision, and it's a movie that is really weird, and it's shot in a specific way where everybody's overacting. And it's on a set. It kind of looks like Pee-wee's Playhouse, but a perverted like sex version of Pee-wee's Playhouse. And there's no nudity in it, but these parents in it tell their kids that they're swingers and they're going to go meet these people to pick up. And in the meantime, they have this satellite that beams this monster into their world, and this monster eats people. Yeah,
Brad-
it's so weird.
Brad, can we remake
Wow.
that movie and just make it as blunt and honest as possible?
It's really weird. I can't even describe it to you. It is
Kids
so
were on our way to a
bizarre.
swingers party. You guys enjoy Monster Time.
It's
Be in bed
basically
before
what it is.
10.
And then there's this girl who's like an Elvira knockoff. Her name's Medusa. It's a really weird movie. I can't even describe it to you. You have to really watch it. And you have to understand the tone of the movie, or you'll think it's the worst movie you've ever seen.
What's this movie called again?
It's called TerrorVision.
TerrorVision. I'm already there.
Yeah, it's all right. And the second part of this double feature was called The Video Dead, which is why I actually wanted to get it. It's about this TV that only shows this zombie movie, and the zombies come out of the TV. It sounds really stupid, but whatever.
No,
I'll
it's
watch
like
it.
it's like the Purple Rose of Cairo of zombie movies.
Exactly. And so the makeup effects actually are pretty good for a no-budget zombie movie.
Cool.
The movie doesn't make any sense at all. The acting is horrible in it. But whatever. It's an 80s horror movie.
I mean, yeah, when you're going into a movie about zombies coming out of your TV, like, what do you expect?
And a movie called The
you want it
Video
to be
Dead.
Perfection.
Yeah,
James.
yeah. It's called
So yeah, you can only expect so it does.
Yeah.
But what I really love about Scream Factory is they actually put them on Blu-rays, and they have like making of. Even though it's a doubled movie set, they still have the makings of on them. They just don't make single discs of them, so they still kind of give them some sort of respect.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of cool.
Well, they've been doing that a lot. They literally just announced, I think it was a couple days ago. They're actually, you guys were talking about it last week, The Shadow.
Yeah.
They're doing The Shadow. I just
Yeah.
pre-ordered that today. I am so excited.
Yep.
Cannot wait.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do fun things, and it's cool that they take those titles like that and kind of put them out there.
Are you gonna get the horror show?
Who
isn't?
Who? I don't know.
Which one? What's the horror show?
It's this movie I watched on Netflix and I saw. I think they were putting it out.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
It's a weird one.
It's weird.
It's not.
It's got the guy from Blade Runner, Brian James, is the
Yeah.
convict.
It's not great, but it's interesting. I thought it was interesting.
I remember seeing it a long time ago. That's what the fun thing too with the Scream Factory stuff is it's stuff I rented as a kid. And it's kind of fun to revisit them. And to continue my Jason Statham watching,
Yes.
I watched The Expendables again.
Cool.
And it's still a fun movie. It's
Bonnie.
and I didn't remember that it is really a Jason Statham movie. It's
Totally.
him and Sylvester Stallone really in that movie.
Yeah.
And they have lots of fun, and there's some cool action scenes, and there's lots of people getting blown to bits. I do like too though that he didn't have a love interest. He only went back to save the girl because he thought she was wronged and something.
And played a very violent game of basketball.
Oh yeah, that part's badass.
Yeah.
You stay away from her.
I always loved that part.
That's what Statham does, guys. That's what Statham does.
Because he has to do it on the court to get the respect of the streets.
It is. I know. The only thing that sucks, I've been so busy at work, I haven't been able to whip through my Stathams as fast as I have been the weeks prior.
Yeah.
The only other Statham movie I watched was one called Chaos, which
Oh,
What
yeah.
did you think of it?
actually I thought it was pretty good. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it falls into a lot of trappings of mid 2000s heist movies, but it starts really cool. It starts with Jason Statham as a cop who is suspended because of a thing he did on a bridge.
Who was jerking off?
He's jerking off on the cars below.
Yeah. No, I couldn't tell you. I can't tell you what he did on the bridge because it spoiled the movie.
Oh, okay.
But
Damn it, Statham! You're costing the city thousands of dollars. You're suspended.
but it has to do with
Let's
the,
have a chief.
it has to do with the hostage situation, guys. Get your head out of the fucking gutter, okay? And so then there's another hostage situation at a bank that Wesley Snipes is holding up.
Whoa!
And he asked specifically for Jason Statham's cop character because he was in trouble with the law, guys.
Wesley Snipes asking
Yeah.
for Jason Statham for something specifically sounds like the plot of a very bad incestuous Hollywood movie.
And
He
then,
was like, "Hey, Jason,
Get over
can
it.
you please help
Are
me
you
pay my
wearing a
taxes?"
wire?
and what they don't tell you in this movie is Ryan Felipe is actually the lead in the movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, celery in the ass guy.
Yeah, him. And he
Wait. Well, all right, that one went over my head.
MacGruber.
MacGruber.
Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot he was in that.
I met him in person right after a screening of that movie, and
Oh,
it
yeah?
was the funnest conversation I've ever had because I literally asked him, "What was it like having that celery stuck up your ass?"
and
What
he
did he
said,
say?
And he said, "Very, very cold."
"Nice." And it's a mystery, and Ryan Felipe and Jason Statham are trying to solve this mystery of this bank heist because Wesley Snipes' character ends up getting away, and they don't understand how he gets away. And Jason Statham just really needs to kick some guys' ass. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what Statham wants to do.
Well, he's allowed to.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I watched this week, Brad.
I'm trying to remember if I watched anything but Bad Grandpa again.
Academy
I
Award
love how that
nominated.
movie
Yeah.
has taken your brain by storm.
Yeah. No,
It's a good flick. I love the story.
yeah, the story's great. It's not as funny the second time around because I know what's coming. And then it's the unrated extended cut, but there's only like 3 scenes, and then there's some cool like how they did some of the stunts, like how they set them up, and like the wedding thing is actually one of the producers' like real wedding. So the bride and the groom were in on it, but their family wasn't. So there's cool stuff like that, and then like doing tests for the kiddie ride, and how like they did it in like a warehouse first, but the actual store has this metal crossbar in the glass that they have to like calculate so that Johnny Knoxville doesn't like decapitate himself. And on the test one, he just grazes it by like 2 centimeters.
Wow.
In the test, it's a string, but still, it's like
Isn't it funny? He always was. What jackass was it when he was on the rocket and it like blew out the
second one,
side,
yeah.
like, inches away from him?
yeah. Yeah, I watched the Mystery Science Theater things, and then
Which ones did you watch?
the ones that are on Netflix, I kind of just put on the background and then like occasionally hear the commentary, but I don't pay attention to the movie at all. Like I know one was called Laser Blast, another one was called Phantom Planet, but I
Laser
couldn't
Blast
tell
is
you.
good. Phantom Planet
Phantom
is good.
Planet,
Laser
yeah.
Blast is amazing, but you have to be in the right mode for it.
Yeah, I'm more interested in like seeing like this in between skits with the robots and everything, and so
Yeah.
I'll like pause and watch that. But then when it gets back to the actual movie, I'm back to working.
Do yourself a favor. Go watch the Final Sacrifice episode.
Okay.
It's just it's honestly one of the best Canadian jokes you will ever watch in your life. It's really good. I totally recommend it.
Yeah, and then I don't know
Either
if
that or Revenge of the Creature.
I don't know if I finished The Naked Gun last time I talked. I know we talked about it at some point, but I kept falling asleep in it over and over again. I watched it like
during the Naked Gun.
yeah, like 6 times, and then I finally got through it. Not that it was like bad; it was just like I don't know, couldn't stay awake.
Like Leslie Nielsen, you needed a nap.
Yeah,
Oh.
a grave nap. What?
That's not even what I
Yeah.
was going for, but James just made it. Apparently, I'm the bad death person here.
But I feel like all the best jokes are at the beginning, like the floating
Yeah.
chalk outline, the part where he's like on the edge of the building, like trying to grasp onto the statues, and like eventually gets around, and they're not chicks anymore; they're guys with like huge dongs. And he breaks one off and then crashes through a window. He's like attacking this woman with his giant stone dong.
Yeah,
Yeah, so stupid.
it's great.
You gotta love it though.
Yeah. So if they put the sequels on Netflix, I'll watch them. I was at Spy Hard had the Weird Al thing, but no, that's that one.
Mm-hmm. You know,
I think Weird Al did the song for Spy Hard. That's what
He
it is.
did.
Yeah. That's all I watched, I guess. In Open Screen Night.
Cool.
Excellent.
Zach, you have a comic book for me?
I do have a comic book for you. So I went back into the vault, and I found one that was a little bit interesting because I was thinking about this particular. She's a comic book author, but she's also an actress. Her name's Rosario Dawson. I think we're all familiar with her. She did a
Alexander like a motherfucker.
Clerks 2, but yeah.
Clerks
Yeah.
2, Trance, Rent, lots of things. The Zookeeper. We could go down the list for everybody. But she did a book back in 2008 called OCT, Occult Crimes Task Force. And it is it's a small graphic novel, and it's just about a woman who gets thrown into the world of paranormal investigation. It's a very in-depth. The artwork is very like in-depth, kind of feels like a Fincher movie in weird ways. Like it just the way they kind of go from panel to panel, it just kind of feels like there's a very strong emotional human conversation happening at one moment, and then being able to be transported right into this kind of fantastical world for a split panel, and then just being switched back right over to this conversation. Like, it feels like it's flowing like a really good indie film. So I would highly recommend it. Very solid comic.
She wrote it or drew it?
She helped write it, and I think it was 2 other artists who drew it. I'd have to get the artist names. I can't remember, but she's one of the writers.
And the name one more time, OCT?
OCT, Occult Crimes Task Force.
Cool. So go up to Colorado Quince Cards and Comics, and if they don't have it, they'll get it for you.
And if not, I will sell it to you out of the back of a van that I have just bought.
Whoa.
Nice.
Trying to find
With
his next
speakers.
movie.
I'm just buying ideas at this point.
Cool.
Cool, guys. So this week, we took a transatlantic flight with Liam Neeson in Nonstop.
Were there a lot of, uninterrupted thrills? Was I able to get, some kind of in-flight service of pain?
Zach, why don't you tell everybody if they should go see Nonstop or not?
In-flight service.
I'm just at the point of tipping your nerve, aren't I?
That'll be on the box, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Should we go see Nonstop? I was actually really impressed by this film because of watching the movie Executive Decision 2 weeks prior.
Hell yeah!
And realizing I really like action movies that takes place in planes.
Hell yeah!
They're just really fun. That's why I was really disappointed by Flight, because I thought it was going to be much more fun. I think go see it. It's a fun flick. It's much more fun than like Jack Ryan, which was the last action-y movie that I saw with you guys. Go watch Nonstop. It's fun. Liam Neeson doesn't always kick butt. Sometimes he talks and has to be a detective, So it's really cool.
Should people go see it?
Yeah, I'd say go see it. I'd say go see it in the theater. If you have a nice lady friend, go take her out for that. Be good.
Totally.
Because she may not get it, but you will.
Who
Or
cares
vice
about
versa.
chicks?
If she doesn't, you can diddle her.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good,
Or
it's a
she
good
could,
diddle movie.
or she could diddle you, vice versa. Everything works out. Equality. Go see it.
Cool. Brad, should people go see Nonstop?
I don't know. It wasn't bad, but the end kind of felt very rushed to me. There's like a very slow build, and then it just like all the pieces came together, and we're done. So I don't know. Definitely you could rent it. I don't know about the theater.
James, should people go see Nonstop?
I really enjoyed this movie. I would agree. I think they don't stick the landing very well. Yeah, like they just sort of rush through it.
Unintended.
The ending feels like it was written.
Oh shit! We
in
need
the
an
90s.
ending.
Yeah. well, just in the night, like Executive Decision ends the same way, where like all of the ending of the movie happens on the tarmac.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. They're, at some point, they're on
from
the
a
tarmac,
movie
but-
from 23 years ago.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like it just okay. We're at the end. Let's go. There's some sappy bits. There's some parts of the mystery that like are a little bit convenient or whatever. But last week we talked about the fact that we don't get enough mystery movies. This is pretty damn close.
Yeah, it was a fun.
Like,
it was a
there's-
fun melodrama mystery.
There's not a lot of action in this movie until very close to the end. I think the whodunit here is really well done. Again, some of the clues are a little hokey. You've got to give it a little space. This is not a perfect movie, but I really enjoyed it. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought the movie was pretty fun. Because you're right, it was different. I was expecting him just to be kicking ass all the whole time, and it was really a slow build up, and it took time to explain Liam Neeson's character in it, and
He's not always likable.
no, exactly, and that's it was an interesting take on it. Here's the trailer for Nonstop.
I hate flying. The lines, the crowds, the delays.
I always kind of liked it. 6 hours, one seat, nobody can get to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard our non-stop service from New York to London.
You fly much?
All the time, actually. Someone on this flight is threatening to kill someone every 20 minutes unless $150 million is transferred to this account number.
We're midway across the Atlantic. How do you kill someone in a crowded plane and get away with it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I need every passenger to raise their hands above their head.
This is a bad idea.
Marshal, we have a right to know what the hell is going.
Agent Marks, the account number you gave us is in your name.
What? That doesn't make any sense. This is a setup. Something else is going on.
The FBI, the White House, and Interpol are confirming reports that an international flight has been hijacked by an air marshal.
Agent Marks, our fighter escort has you in their sights. Do you hear me?
We're running out of time. Do you hear me? I'm not hijacking this plane. I'm trying to save it.
Does anybody feel like with Neeson's character in this movie that he just, at one point, the ending might have been that he was just going to be an alcoholic delusion the entire time? Because because they put those plants in there, and that's what you were talking about. That there's like really weird, subtle like hints you can tell in the cinematography where they're just like, "Oh God, make sure that you remember this. It's important."
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's exactly what I talked about last week with how we don't get movies like Murder on the Orient Express anymore, where like you're just introduced to a situation with a whole bunch of characters in it, and they could all be guilty, and you just have to figure out who it is. This is that. Like, and I think everybody went into the movie saying like, oh well, it's going to be like Julianne Moore, or it's him, or be something. But honestly, most of the movie, I didn't have any idea where it was going, and when they finally did reveal it, that's not what I expected, which is cool. It's not necessarily the best story, like it's not necessarily the best mystery. It's a mystery that, like Clue, you could have dropped multiple endings onto. But the truth is, that's true of like Hitchcock's mysteries and things like that. You know,
they're just a standard. Yeah. It's just the way he films them.
It just sort of keeps you on your toes.
Something about that movie, like the way it ended and who ended up being the villain, the perpetrators at the end, it felt like very dissatisfying and ended up just being a solidifying factor for why William Neeson was in the movie. Because I really honestly thought it was going to be Julianne Moore's character. I was so convinced. Because I'm like, why is Julianne Moore in this movie? There's no reason she should be in this movie beyond the fact that she's probably the villain.
Yeah. Yeah, she
that's what I thought going in too.
Yep.
But I think it was smart of them to play against that and know that that's what you were going to think.
Yeah, there's a lot of good misdirection, but when the movie started and that guy showed up at the curb, I was like, son of a bitch. I know what this guy is. Like,
but did you never questioned it? You always thought it was that guy?
I did question it, yeah, but I was like, at that moment I was like, this guy's probably the villain.
But
crap.
See, I thought
they threw me another curveball by making it two people. So
yeah, but I thought there were like 6 of those at the beginning, where there are multiple people who, even in the way that they are designed visually, like the way that their costume and their like the other cop on the plane. I look at that guy and I don't know who did his fucking hair, but that was a James Bond villain. Like you saw that guy. No, the other. Sorry, not the policeman, but the other air marshal.
Oh, okay.
That guy's like weird fucking hairdo. He looked like a James Bond villain. And so when I first saw him, I was like, that guy's evil. Then I saw the bald cop, and I was like, that guy's evil. And Julianne Moore's evil, and that guy's evil, and the stewardess is evil, and the temporary stewardess is evil, and the dude flying the plane, he's evil. Everybody on this fucking plane is evil. Like I just
The twist is everyone on the plane is in on it.
So you thought the bald guy was evil?
There was a point at which I was like, bald what? Just because that actor, for me, I see that guy, and I'm like, you're probably a dick.
Because, I saw the bald guy, and I was just like, I kept thinking he was thinking, how can the same shit happen to the same guy twice in one day?
But like they layer in clues, like when he gets on, the stewardess says to the other stewardess something about like, oh, thanks for stepping in and being like a temporary steward. And there's just like little clues like that they leave as these breadcrumbs to sort of distract you away from to lead you down different paths.
They could have called it Red Herring the movie, and I would have been just as satisfied.
But that's what a mystery is.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's a scene where Liam Neeson is trying to figure out who the bad guy is.
Passenger on board this flight has threatened to kill someone every 20 minutes unless they're paid $150 million. And now 3 people are dead. The bomb will explode in less than half an hour. And they want you to believe that I'm responsible. Everything you've heard about me is true. I've lost my family, my job. I'm an alcoholic. My daughter was diagnosed with acute leukemia at the age of 5, and I spent my days at work instead of being at home looking after her because I was afraid of watching her die. I'm not a good father. I'm not a good man. I'm not hijacking this plane. I'm trying to save it.
Oh, that's just so engrossing.
Yeah, you guys are really glazing over a part that's because I don't even know what you're talking about. You're just over each other.
Yeah.
I'm not you, Brad. There is a part where you think that Liam Neeson might be the bad guy because he is so distraught and he's drinking so much, and there's this little bit where he's a little dark in the movie, and you don't understand his motivation because everybody questions him, and there's those little hints where Julianne Moore's character orders a gin and tonic, and he says, "I'll have one too." And then you find out that Nancy, the stewardess, knows him, so she gives him a bottle of water. Mm-hmm. And you slowly figure out, it's like, oh wait, is Nancy the bad person because she's mentioning his daughter
because she won't give him booze.
No, because she's mentioning his daughter, and everything's really personal for him, and things like that.
I like that little twist because I didn't catch it at first that they knew each other, and then when I kind of realized it, I'm like, oh, that was a good little plant.
That's what I mean, because they slowly put in these little things in this movie. That's why I think this movie is actually pretty successful in building that tension. And if it didn't have a couple little hokey moments in it,
totally,
I think it really would have sold. But I mean, I do think the scene where he confesses, that his daughter is dead and that he is a horrible person, I think is a really good scene, and I think it adds credibility to his character and makes his redemption at the end, where all he wants to do is save the people on the flight. I think is really cool.
And to add to that, the way that they shoot a lot of the like close-up scenes, like when he's alone trying to put it together, and like the background comes in and out of focus, and he comes in and out of focus, and some of that stuff, it is not disorienting, but it's implying this idea that he's not entirely in his right mind.
Yeah, or he's drunk or something.
Yeah, and in a more subtle way than how they would normally portray somebody who's drunk. Like, he is a highly functioning alcoholic, which is really cool to see. And it does. It's one more of those little elements that just tries to lead you astray from figuring out who, like, really what's going on. And especially because, like, so we're getting close to spoilers here, and I just don't know how else to say this.
The movie, and Brad spoiled it when he said there's 2 villains.
Oh, that's true. Well, but I'm going to get at who it really is. So when he gets up that guy who ends up saying he's a school teacher and is like beating the shit out of him, basically. At that moment, I'm like, dude, you've crossed the line here. Like, he's not behaving in a way that I would expect, like a good, logically thinking police officer to, because he doesn't really have any evidence on that guy, and the way he's treating him as he does it is just like a little bit uncalled for, or very uncalled for.
That's
and so there's moments like that where you're just like, this guy's kind of a dick. Like, he's not doing this correctly.
That's why I thought at one point that it was either going to be him or it was going to be an alcoholic delusion. It was just him going crazy, which would have been, I'm not going to lie, probably would have been one of the ballsier endings of the February season.
Yeah. But I think it also would have taken away from the movie.
Fair
but
enough.
I would agree, like, I was disappointed when they went as far as to be like, what if the plane rips apart right where the girl that he likes is, and then like the little girl almost falls out of the plane, he's got to save it, and I was just like, dude,
do you have a problem? What problem do you have with little children being saved, James?
No. It was just too far and too hokey because like they'd already brought the story about his daughter back with the ribbon. Like that scene was touching enough that I didn't need that. Like that was just it was too on the nose, you know. And there are things like that are very like 90s thriller elements of the way you end a movie. It just ended up being hokey.
You and I are not watching Over the Top ever anytime soon. Cause
No.
You probably hate that little kid too.
But yeah.
Anything else, Brad?
No, it's the whole like, I did all this just to show the world that our security is relaxed too much.
I didn't get what was the villain's point again, which was it can happen all over the world. What was your point? The villain had no point.
Yeah.
No shit.
Really bothered me. Like even an executive decision, the villain had a point.
Yeah.
And he convinced some other dude to help him, which is even more.
Yeah.
Over that plan.
Especially for a guy who seems so smart.
Can you imagine that? Like,
you know what I mean?
In a coffee shop earlier, being like, "Look, I'm really disappointed."
Hey, look, Arsenio Hall. Do you want to help me like commit a murder on a plane?
Yeah, I'm really disappointed in our nation's security. I want you to help me take down a plane.
Well,
all right. How much?
I think that like some of the ideas that they are trying to play with that character are interesting, but they just don't do a good job of it. Of like having a guy who is motivated by the fact that he feels like our security on 9/11 was bad, and that like we tell everybody that they're safe when they're really not, and we create this false sense of security, and that we're in a way lying to the American people. Like those themes and those ideas are cool when you deliver them very quickly in the middle of an action scene from a guy who's not very well fleshed out.
Expositional.
It just falls down.
Drop. Yeah.
And then when you try to turn that into a motivation for why he's doing something very horrible, it just doesn't. It just doesn't work quite.
It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't fly, and the problem is that
it doesn't fly.
Well, it doesn't. Non-stop service, guys. It just doesn't work, and it's lazy storytelling. Like it just ultimately it brings down your story so much. The one thing that this story had that really sucks, because it could have been a much better movie, honestly, is that if they had just gone for broke and said, "Look, this is what it is. This is the kind of story that it is," and told it through just Liam Neeson's point of view or something like that, like take a unique angle. The fact that this kind of movie or this script, like you could look at the story of this script and make it work easily in a better format, but the fact that it is made very by the numbers is the only reason we're talking about it as negatively as we are, is really interesting. To me, at least. Like that's how I feel about the movie, which is I would only be saying great things about this film if it was shot differently. If it wasn't shot by the numbers, I would say that this movie was awesome.
I don't know. I think that they could have made this work if, like, the difference between this movie as a pretty good mystery and an actually great mystery is that all of that stuff about exposition is why somebody would do it is supposed to be layered into the mystery. So, everybody should have like all those people. The reasons why we thought they were that they were the murderers was because they kind of looked like because the language. Because the language of the movie, like visually, was telling us that person should be suspicious, not because they had a motivation, not because they were in the right place at the right time. That's the reason why it ends up failing as a mystery, and why that ending and that reveal is not satisfying in the way that the endings of Clue are not actually tied together. Is that we should have had some understanding of who that guy was before. Like, the real way to set that up is you have three different guys who we all look at and we go, okay, one of these guys did it, and when we find out who did it, we will already know why they did it. It's more that it suffers, I think, from being a thriller. And then try to tie it.
It's a February thriller.
Yeah,
it's a good one too. It's better than Unknown.
It's
way better than Unknown.
It's better than Taken 2.
So did his boss just let him keep that $150 million?
I think it was a joke. I think it was a joke.
It was Shea Wiggum too. I was turning to James and I was like, "Do you see what I'm seeing? It's the guy from Boardwalk Empire."
I still would have told that guy to go fuck himself and be like, "Dude, seriously? Like every time I got on the phone with you, all you did was yell at me that I was doing it wrong. Like I was doing the best I could. Come on, let me do my job."
I was going to get riddled with bullets as soon as he got off the plane because
the
military didn't know how they got down and everything. So they're looking for him, as far as we know.
He was picking up a date with Julianne Moore. Did you not?
The only thing I was thinking about the boss was thinking about Airplane with this Ted Stryker. Listen to me.
They showed a trailer of that before that movie. It was great.
They did. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a fun one to see at the Alamo. All the stuff before that was cool.
Yeah,
because they showed a trailer. I don't think you were here yet. They showed a trailer for Executive Decision
and Air Force One.
And I was telling Ryan about how much I love that.
You know why you love Executive Decision, right?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt motherfucking Russell.
And Oliver Platt. Oliver Platt, when he takes the thing out of his mouth and he's like squeezing it between the diodes of a
you would not think that
bomb,
a plastic
like
straw would come into effect in an action movie that well.
Yeah.
Leguizamo's in it too, and Steven Seagal has the best role of his career when he dies within the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Oh yeah.
It's not.
Well,
it's
they
been
show
20 years.
That's a fun movie.
In the trailer, they show his death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It was so cool. I loved it. Because I know I didn't see him in the credits, and I'm just like, Steven Seagal's not in this movie? What's going on? I see him right there on the screen.
Yeah. That movie is so 90s. Like the fact that they try to hide, like get their guys on the plane using a stealth bomber or a stealth fighter and shit like that. Like all those kind of hokey things are just
It was very
perfectly out of the 90s.
It's very weird to watch Executive Decision in a post 9/11 world.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Next week, the only movie coming out is 300: Rise of an Empire. So the real nerds will be seeing 300: Rise of an Empire.
Yeah.
I want to see.
I also got my Fantastic Mr. Fox Criterion, broke it in half. Just immediately broke it in half because fuck Wes Anderson.
I don't even want to go to the Alamo this month because all they're doing is showing shitty Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah, like, seriously.
Fuck him.
Brad, what are you doing next week?
Yeah, what are you doing next week?
Fucking murdering you guys in a shallow grave.
Hey guys, step in
No, really.
3-foot hole, huh?
In a whimsical way.
Cool.
It'll be very symmetric.
He's not going to be doing it whimsically. He's just going to be staring in front of a camera going, I'm going to kill you both now.
Yeah, very
Look,
symmetrical.
Here's how I did it.
I know, that's what I love.
Then he'll get a hatchet and wackily chase us around the apartment.
My favorite shot in the trailer is when Ray Fiennes runs away.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's shot so well.
Yeah.
And the only person who can pull off a shot like that is Wes Anderson.
I kind of want to go back and rewatch Bottle Rocket because they were in the trailer where they were showing they were going to show that. That movie looks like bizarrely asymmetrical by comparison. It almost looks like it's shot by somebody else.
It's the least symmetrical movie he's ever made.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's like his student film. But
Yeah.
He was just like, oh my god, I'm much better when I put the camera right in front of people as opposed to an angle.
Yeah. You know what nobody else does? Just put the camera right in the wrong place.
Dude, I mean,
it's just gorgeous.
Fuck you for breaking your Fantastic Mr. Fox because that is a perfect movie.
I'm kidding.
Better not.
We're gonna go see whatever the fuck that movie is, and we're gonna watch Fantastic Mr.
The
Fox.
Grand Budapest Hotel opens up the following week, I think.
Yeah.
It opens up, next week.
Yep.
Grand Budapest Hotel. As long as
And
Alamo
it's in
Denver gets it.
4:3. Yeah, it's in 4:3, which is weird. Cool.
It's a mix.
Oh, is it really?
Widescreen and 4:3,
okay,
yeah.
that's kind of what I'm expecting that the 4:3 is going to move across. The screen.
Yeah, I was watching the trailer specifically to see where it was like stretching apart. And it's like there's a couple shots in when they introduce the characters at the end that it gets wide and then goes back to other things. So.
Cool. Yeah, I was expecting that they were going to do some cool stuff with it, but
I think I read.
I don't want anybody to spoil it for me, so don't give me.
I think I read somewhere it has to do with the time period. Because I guess it's set in the same time that they were switching from 4:3 in movies to widescreen. So
Interesting.
He's gotten very specific.
Yeah,
I read
very detailed.
I read an interview with I think it was Ray Fiennes, and he was saying that Wes Anderson will look at things through the camera, and then he'll say, "Oh, hang on, let me move this teapot just a little bit," and he's really particular about how he's going to shoot things.
I think it would be really cool if the movie were in like that form factor, but then it would move left and right from time to time.
So when it gets to the left side of the frame,
yeah.
It
So
stretches
like,
a little bit.
No, just like it would be 4:3, but but with the part where there was actually like stuff being projected on the screen would move left and right across the widescreen. I think that would be neat.
Am I the only one who wants to see Wes Anderson do a drunken cell phone camera movie? Because I totally watched the shit out of that.
It would be the most meticulous
Look at it,
thing.
it's all symmetrical, guys.
Yeah, the most meticulous thing that.
Did you see him talk about doing a Bond movie?
Yeah, I heard about his blonde pun. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'd
No,
probably have Bond come in, talk to M, and then
Nothing really
you go to the
happens.
coffee machine and get a cup of coffee, and that'd be about it.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
So hopefully next week, Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Oh,
Happy
before I leave, I wanted to make a quick announcement. So we are working on something. It's the reason why I wasn't able to make it open screen night. Ani Carino and Spencer Kane and I are teaming up. It's been made as a decision. I've just signed on to direct a web series called Local Brew, which is upcoming. It's a dark comedy. I can only describe it as a series about very shitty people who would only want to smoke pot rather than do the things they have to do to be responsible. But that's a small explanation of it. But we are looking for people to come out and help us out with a couple shoots in April. And if you want to be an extra in it, you can get a hold of us through Facebook, Take 38 Productions. But we want to bring in the real nerds and bring in a bunch of fans as possible to bring in people to come in and enjoy the filmmaking experience. So if you guys are interested, come on down. We'll be keeping the details updated as much as possible. But we wanted to break that news for you guys tonight.
Dude,
Cool.
awesome. Cool.
Looking forward to it.
That's so cool. Man.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Even though it's past midnight, so fuck you.
Yeah, so, no, it's 23. Great, go to work.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can tweet us at real_nerds. You can email us even, realnerds@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, stream us on Stitcher. You want to call us? 720-6nerds5. And download us on iTunes. Just search Real Nerds. Thank you, Joe Kempter, for the wonderful voiceover. And also Spark Mandrill for the wonderful late-night jazz smooth sounds of movies. You can find him on SoundCloud. This has been a Nebulous Visions production.